Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another live editing session. Got a few special guests with me this evening. Hopefully their show isn't a little too loud. Let me know if you guys are picking that up. I can't tell. I put the earbuds on. The headphones. To see if I can hear it. I can't tell. Although I can see that it's registering, so let me know if that's too distracting. Facebook might kick me off for copyright issues. I don't know. And YouTube, who knows? I guess we'll see. Anyway, we are on to the next session. I've already started on these this morning, so I have my presets and everything created for this particular session. I'm going to start off with this one. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Hold on a minute. Hey guys, I'm going to turn this down a bit.
I'm just worried about him. Dak, what do you think? Is this a fever? I don't know.
Oh, he's got the COVID.
Dragon fever feel like?
He's got the COVID virus.
Don't worry about
All right, that's probably a little bit better. Oh, is it coming through really loud, babe? I can't tell. I tried to put the headset on to see if I could hear it, but I can't tell. So I've already created the preset for this, and I wanted to have kind of a creamy, pinkish. There we go. That's what I was going for, right there. And basically, I used a combination of one of Lightroom's presets actually, and then my own personal touch. So I went here to the Adobe color profiles here, and I believe I used the Artistic 2 to start out with, and I kind of like the look that gave, so that gave me a starting point there, and then of course I just kind of changed everything else the way that I wanted it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my crop here, change it to 5:7, and there's really nothing to change. It's already perfect. And from here we can just add a little vignette. And the direction of light that that's coming from in this one is actually off to her right, but we have her in the shadow of this big rock. So let me try to come from that direction there. That might be a little bit too much, so I'm going to back it off a little bit. So here is our Lightroom before and after. So the highlights were a little harsh in this one. So I pulled those down a bit, pulled the shadows up a little bit. Let's go ahead and move over to Photoshop. I don't know that I need these. I just put those on to see if I could tell how loud their show was over there. Did you guys see my photo that I posted today? Not that one. Where is it? There we go. This is an experimental photo that I did. Had some time to play around with, try something new. So I did this morning. I wanted to use two different light sources. Basically, the only light sources in this image is candle behind me and my phone. And the ISO was cranked up to like 8,000, so it's pretty noisy once you zoom in. It has a lot of noise in it, but I like the way it turned out. But I think I'm gonna give it another go because it didn't didn't come out exactly the way I wanted. The lighting wise, I think it came out pretty good, but it was supposed to tell a little bit more of a story. And after I posted it, everybody said it looked like I was playing a video game. It looked like I was holding a game controller, and it does. It looks just like even when I looked at it after it was done, like it looks, for some reason it looks like I'm holding a game controller. If you guys are wondering what I'm holding, it's my camera. And the idea was I've got a bunch of lenses here in the foreground, and I wanted it to look like I was getting ready for a session. And then the client contacted me and told me, let's cancel the session. So that was the story. But unfortunately, you can't see any of the lenses in the foreground because it's too dark, and the camera is dark enough where it looks like I'm just holding a game controller. And because because of my lighting setup, it just looks like a video game. so that was the message people got. So I might give it another go. I might try it out. Instead of having the lenses, I think I'll put my camera bag there and have it a little bit better lit. We'll see. All right, back to my session here. I don't know if I'm going to be on very long. I just wanted to get on here real quick, edit a few photos, but I got the kids with me, so I may stop here in a little bit and get them ready for bed. We've got about an hour at least, so we can get a few done. So I'm going to start out by coming in here and removing just a little bit of acne here. And one thing I like to remove is specifically when my subject is in the shadows. These shadows under her eyes get really dark. So I'm going to create another layer and I'm going to remove the shadows completely, but I don't want them to be removed completely. But just bear with me here for a minute. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to fade this back in. Can everybody hear me all right? Can you see me all right? I've heard people are having a hard time. Facebook Lives have been having issues today. All right, so now that we've removed the shadows into her eyes, I'm going to reduce the opacity and bring a little bit of that back. Bring it down to about 40%. There we go. I'm just going to combine those two layers together. And I'm going to dodge and burn probably the rocks next to her, just to make all that pop out a little bit more. There we go. And I'm going to grab my manual dodge and burn and do some dodging and burning here. I'm just going to brighten the highlights, especially in her hair right here. Some in her face. Her face is a little bit dark. Richard, what do you have there, bud? Ah, that's your rock.
Look, she's gone.
I basically just want to enhance the highlights a little bit. And then the same thing with the shadows. I'm going to darken the shadows just a little bit. Especially into the chin line here, because it'll kind of bring some separation there, kind of make her chin stick out a little bit more. And I'm going to come in here and then brighten up the catch light in her eyes. Oh, am I going to be able to do this with you in my lap? I'm going to say hi.
Hi.
There's nobody watching though. Everybody left. Is that your rock?
Yeah.
That's Richard's rock. Ooh, I gotta be careful coughing. People are gonna think I have the COVID. Ooh, be careful. You alright?
Yeah.
Alright, bring the highlights out in her eyes a little bit. So basically I'll just make her stand out a little bit more. I'm going to use my hairbrush. This is where, with the animals, the hairbrush didn't work out very well. But it works really well on people. Yeah, that's whiteout. Let's not play with that. Yeah, let's not play with the whiteout. Mm-hmm. Bless you. Yeah, that's my pens. That's my pens. Yep. Don't fall off that stool. Oh, 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 oh. No, don't play with the mouse. Gonna mess up my edit. Yeah. Here's our before and after with the hair, with the hairbrush. There is nobody watching us. Everybody left. Hmm? Whoops. Yeah. My pen tool is acting up here. Here we go. Pens, yeah. Oh. Don't run off with that. That's my fly killer. Thank you. Oh, let's not play with the pens. All right, I'm gonna bring that down a little bit. Yeah. Do some sharpening. Yes, sharpening. And my logo. It's white out. Yeah. Why? Because if you mess something up in paperwork, it whites it out. You can erase it.
Why?
Well, because we're human. We make mistakes. And save it. Oh, no. Let's not. Let me have the white out. Let's not play with that. No, I don't need you whiting everything out. Alright, that feels like a pretty good balance. Whoops. Well, I got a little bit of light in there, but it might be too much. Let's just try it and see what happens. Did it pinch you? Don't stick your finger in there. Yeah. The lens cap will pinch you. Yeah. It's a lens cap. Hmm? Light source is kind of coming from that direction, but I don't want to do too much. Back that off a little bit. All right. There's a Lightroom before, Lightroom after. Go ahead and bring it into Photoshop. I feel like we lost a little depth there because it was highlights were a little too high in there. Makes it look a little faded. You see yourself?
Yeah. Oh,
What happened?
this.
Don't lose the lens caps. I don't even know what those go to. We got lens caps everywhere. Where'd they all? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look, there you are. There you are. This way. There you go. Alright, we need to switch back so that people can see what I'm doing. We'd probably rather see you though.
Let's see.
Where'd you go? You're gone.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to do some frequency separation retouching here.
That is.
There's nobody here to watch. Oh, I got something in my eye.
Wait.
Hmm?
Let's take it. Please, please.
Alright, we're doing some frequency separation retouching here. I have my frequency separation built into an action here. Ooh, yeah, let's leave my memory stick alone there. Got too many things on this desk. And I have it built where I can just paint it on. So I'm gonna set my brush, the opacity of my brush to 50%, and I'm just gonna paint this over the areas that I want to smooth. Don't stick that in your mouth. Might not work if you do that. And basically all this does is it blends the highlights and the shadows together a little bit and just makes the skin look super smooth, but you don't lose any detail, which is pretty cool. Your texture and everything is still there, but I have it divided into several areas here. This is for the that's for the retouching, but if you wanted to move texture around, like if there was some acne and stuff on here you wanted to remove, you can still do that. Alright, so here is, whoops, there's a before and after with the frequency separation. There's a little bit of green in his skin tones in this one. Did I, let me go back to my Lightroom edit here, did I? Yeah, I had my preset in there. But a little bit of green leaked through, so I'm going to remove some of that. I'm going to go ahead and blend these layers together and merge those two together and do a little dodge and burn here. There we go. And some manual dodge and burn here. It's going to brighten the highlights in her hair. Hmm? No, I don't need that. No, you can hold on to it. Hmm? Don't stick it in your mouth, please. All right. Use my hairbrush, smooth out her hair a little bit. There we go. If any of you guys have any questions along the way, don't be afraid to ask. I'm going to bring out the highlights, the catch light in her eyes a little bit. You back? No. Don't mess with the mouse. Don't mess with the mouse. You're going to mess up my edit. Look what you did. No. Leave it be. Leave it be. You watch. Don't mess with the mouse. No, let me have that. Let me have it. All right. Oh, no. There's too many things up here you don't need to mess with. Too many breakable things. There we go. So just pulled the reflections and the catch light out in her eyes a little bit. Make the eyes pop because the eyes is what draws you in. Okay, and well, thank you. Let me just take those.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna remove the green in her skin tones, and that's just reflected from probably the moss on the rock here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a hue saturation layer. I'm going to use the color picker here and try to just grab the green reflection. It's going to be more yellow probably. Yeah, it's selected the yellows there. I'm going to change the color so we can see what's selected. So there you go. So you can see, her skin is primarily selected. But I want to try to isolate my selection. I'm just going to keep adjusting this.
And pink, Dad.
Yeah.
And pink. Red, yellow,
Wow.
Yellow, black, yellow, pink, yellow, pink, yellow,
Okay,
pink,
there we go. Now I'm getting close here.
pink,
Oh, don't bump me. Don't bump me. Alright, right about. Okay. Well, don't mess with the camera. No. Don't push buttons with the camera. I know this probably looks goofy. She looks like an avatar right now. Alright, so right about there is probably as close as it's going to get. So I'm going to reset the color now. And I'm just going to change the color a little bit. Just to pull those yellows out. Could drop the saturation a little bit. And change the brightness, or the lightness. So already you can see how much of that's been pulled out. We don't want her to look washed out, so try to keep it looking normal. Alright, so what I'm going to do is invert the layer mask and just paint it onto her skin. Alright, took care of that problem.
Leave it to Burgle to have his midnight snack before midnight. Leave it to Cutter to have his hidden backup snacks.
I need some people to ask some questions. It's getting quiet in here. Richard, do you have any questions?
Oh no! It looks like this giant egg has a crack in it. Better fix that with some super sticky sleek wingu.
Alright, so here is our before and our after. Before and after. So not a ton that needs to be done there, but got looking nice. Whoa. What time is it? 7:17. You're back? There you are. You're back. It's over here. I know, it's weird. Camera's over here, but you're looking over there. Alright, saved it. Let's go back. Let's go back over here. Alright, let's move on to the next image. So we've got... I know, you're gone. You disappeared. So we've got group shot here. So I do my group shots. I close the aperture down a little bit to make sure to get everybody in focus, and I wonder, is everybody in focus? Looks like it. So I'm just going to change the composition here. Make sure they are centered. Make sure it's a well-balanced image. Kind of have their eyes up there on the third line there. There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, hold on. Let me have that. No. Let me have the whiteout. Wow, that's whiteouting my lens caps. Whoops. Gotta make sure I have a brush selected. The light is coming actually from the left side of the image, even though it kind of looks like it's coming from the right. But if you look at the reflections on their hair and the rim light, you can tell it's actually coming from this direction. So I'm just going to pull down from there. And you could add a little bit of extra light if you needed to, using a radial filter. That's way too much. Just back that off a little bit. Don't knock that tripod over. That'll hurt your toes. Alright, so here's our Lightroom before and Lightroom after. Go ahead and move over to Photoshop. Photoshop. Yep. You find my seat. Okay, well, that's not gonna work. I can't edit when you're pushing me around like that. Come here and do a little retouching. Retouching, yeah. Okay. Are you done? No. Okay, you're gonna have to go back to your other seat. Come on. Come on. Other seat. Are your feet on them? Okay, not gonna fall over. No. Ow. Valia, you're gonna have to go back and watch your show. I'm not gonna get any photos done if you're messing around over here. Huh?
That's easy.
You see me?
Yeah.
Oh, you're sitting? Are you tired?
No.
Are you sure? You want to
No.
go to bed?
I tried.
You sure you don't want to go to bed?
No. I see Dad.
You see you? You found the camera, didn't you?
Yes.
No, not that camera. The web camera.
With the camera.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Yes. Oh.
No, not that camera.
Dad.
Hmm?
Mom. Camera. Oh, camera.
Oh, that's at 50%.
This camera.
Not that camera, no.
That. Camera. Last camera.
Hmm?
Oh. Come on, Dad. Oh. I see you, Dad. I
hmm?
see you.
You see me?
Yeah. And push one.
No, don't push any buttons.
Push buttons?
No pushing buttons.
Why?
Because it'll mess everything up. It'll mess up. It'll mess up client's photos. Alright, I am using my hairbrush to kind of smooth their hair out a little bit.
Dad.
This hairbrush is a combination of
Me.
the oil
This camera.
oil paint filter and just kind of blends the highlights and shadows together a little bit. This gives us nice smooth painterly type of look effect that I like. You can't find the camera, can you? You don't know where it is. Gotta come in. You're not even close. You're not even showing up in the scene. All right, so if you're looking at their hair, you can see kind of what that did there. So this is without, this is with. And while we're zoomed in here, I'm actually going to use my teeth whitening because the white balance got off a little bit. No. Don't touch it. It's white out.
That's right out.
Yep. But their teeth turned a little bit yellow, so I'm going to whiten them up a bit. And this is essentially just a hue and saturation layer with the yellows pulled down. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much all that is. Whoops. Uh-oh. My keyboard stopped working? My keyboard stopped working. There it goes. And it's a little bit too much, so I'm going to back off the opacity a little bit. Just a little, it's about 80%. I'm gonna say hi. There's one person watching. I'm gonna say hi. Say hi, person. We don't know who it is. It doesn't say. It's probably mom.
Hi.
Oh, you want to say hi?
Yeah.
Okay, say hi.
Hi.
Oh.
Hi.
Whoa, turn loose of that grip. Goodness.
Hi, Dad. I see
Listen, yeah, you gotta stop shaking my arm.
you. I see Dad.
I'm trying to draw here.
I see you, Dad.
I see you too. All right. Woo! Whoa! Be careful of that. Let me have it. I don't want you hitting the computer screen with it. Let me have it. Bada, let me have it.
White out.
That's my fly killer. Give me that.
Hey! I have it! I have it! I have it! Dad!
Whoa!
Let me have it! Let me have it!
Give me a kiss.
Mwah.
Yeah.
Have it? What?
White on white doesn't work very well. It's gonna be black on white when you're using layer masks. There we go. Now it's working. Richard, you want to show him your pizza-shaped rock? You gotta hold it over here. You gotta hold it over here. He's got a rock. He found a rock that looks like a piece of pizza. Oh, don't push buttons.
Buttons?
Yep. Oh, now we're all on. Richard, now you're on. Gotta go back. Ah, sharpen. Logo. Boy, nobody's in a talkative mood this evening. What's today? Thursday? Oh, that's why. Everybody's tired. It's the end of the week. And save. I bet that one person's on Facebook. Yep. Since there's nobody on, I might kick off here.
Yes.
So if you guys want me to stay on, just say something. Oh, the one person just left, so I guess that answers that question.
I see you, Dad. I see you.
You see me?
Yeah. I see the granddad. I
I'm gonna
see you.
crop down on that one.
I see you, Dad.
See you too.
I see you.
Richard, you have no idea where the camera is, do you? Oh, thank you. Oh. Getting closer. Whoa. That's not what I meant to do. Let's fix that. That's not what I meant to do either. Close. There we go. Ooh.
I see you,
Dad,
Dad.
what's this?
I see you.
What
This.
just happened?
What's this?
That's my remote for my lights.
I see you. I
Like
see you.
colors, like maybe.
Yeah, it changes the color of the lights. Oh, what? You're choking me.
I see you, me, Dad.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna wrap this up. Nobody's on. Literally, nobody is on. It says 0. There's nobody watching. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick off. We got one person on. Are you here to watch? I was about to go off because there's nobody. Nobody's getting on here. I just finished editing this one photo, and then kick out for the evening.
Here, right now.
Rada, don't break that basket.
He's 1, 2, 3.
We're live right now. Do you know that? the whole Facebook world can see us. Can see me anyway. Can see your shoulder. 20,000 followers
move that.
and nobody's watching.
Move that.
Uh-huh.
Move it.
Move what?
Move that.
I'm moving it.
I can see it.
Pretty cool, huh?
Move it so I can see.
Oh, you mean move it so you can see you?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, we're freezing up here. Maybe that's why it was kicking off. It might not be doing anything. There you go. You're on. Hi. Oh, you're choking me.
Dad, what are these?
Those are lens caps for my camera. Is your show over? Oh. No. Don't mess with the mouse. No. I'm going to back that off a little bit. It's a little too harsh around the edges. There we go. 60%. Sharpen it. You are right next to the mic. Don't yell or anything. That would be really loud. You gonna get the rock? Don't hit the power button down there. Okay. All right, so that wraps up that image. On to the next, but I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off because there's literally nobody's been on for like the last 10 minutes, like 0 people. So if there's somehow somebody watching, thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in next time. I'll see you next time. Have a good evening. Richard, do you want to say anything?